Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about Venus in Scorpio from 27th of October to 20th of November. It is a short transit, and Venus moves out of its own sign and comfort zone of Libra and goes into intense Scorpio. So, what can we expect? Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton, and today we are talking about Venus in Scorpio. So, after spending about a month in Libra, where Venus is in its comfort zone, Venus moves into Scorpio, which is a very intense sign, and Venus is not always comfortable in it. It can be very passionate, intense, possessive, jealous, if you take the negative aspect of Scorpio, but it can also be transformative and changing. So, what type of Venus are you going to experience? I'm going to talk about all the signs later in this class, but three most important aspects of Venus in Scorpio. Firstly, on 30th of October, it goes on to into war with Mercury, but it's just for one day. So there's like a intense irritation, and then they move on. Secondly, it will have a parivartana with Mars. Mars is going to be in Libra from 9th of March. And Venus is going to be in Scorpio. So they will be doing Parivartana Yoga, exchanging signs. And this can be very positive for some signs and not so positive for the others. So we will find out when I do the all sign prediction of who really experiences this well. And finally, Venus goes into Gandanta. And this is 19th, 20th of November, and Venus is the second planet to go through Gandanta. Jupiter's already been through the Scorpio Sagittarius Gandanta. Now Venus is going, it will be followed by the Sun and finally by Mercury. So this Gandanta zone is getting activated, and some issues will be thrown up during that time, but it is also clearing the Gandanta. You see, when the Gandanta energy is there and planets keep on crossing it, that means that they are releasing that energy. So some of them is a positive release. That means you are unraveling the situation, but certain things will be, just like when you start cleaning, there's a lot of dirt there. So then the dirt can come up and you may think that is what it is. So all aspects are there. But obviously, Libra and Taurus will feel that more intensely. So let us look at the three aspects there. So the war on 30th of October. Best with these wars is that we are just cautious. So Taurus, Libra, Gemini, Virgo, they are the ones who get most affected by the planetary war. And it is one day long. So just watch out for it. As I said, at the same time, Jupiter is also going through the Scorpio Gandanta, going into Sagittarius. So we are a little bit unsettled at this stage. And be conscious of this. The second aspect is the Parivartana Yoga. Now, Parivartana Yogas between Venus and Mars. Mars goes into Libra on 9th of November, and Venus is in Scorpio. So they are in each other's signs. So in essence, they work for each other. But according to Phaladipika, it is the houses that they affect in your chart. So for the houses, I will give an overall in your each sign. I'll talk about how this Parivartana Yoga affects you. But otherwise, what you see is that there is some shift and change, because what Venus is really doing is that it's making some change and moving back to Libra, its own sign. So from 9th to 20th of November, you'll see Venus behaving very much like Libra, and Mars behaving like in Scorpio. So both of them get into dignity. But how do they get into dignity? When you take help from somebody else, you use this energy, not by being the way you are. So some change is important. This is a short transit, but it can be very important and powerful. So don't take it that there is going to be no effect of it. And finally, 19th, 20th of November, as Venus moves out of Scorpio, it is going to go through the Gandanta. And these Gandanta energies are very intense and unsettled. So it is always good to note these dates down and to know that everything is not perfect during this time. And it is only 2 days. So for all the signs, and particularly if you're Taurus and Libra, then this is going to affect you more. So how are the other signs getting affected? Remember, I'm going to look at everything from the ascendant and the moon sign. And this is Vedic astrology science, so all the analysis from the Vedic point of view. So Aries, Venus is going into the 8th house of transformation and change. And Aries is getting a lot of Scorpio activity. This change is not the easiest. And when the Parivartana yoga takes place, it is the 7th and the 8th house that get exchanged. So that means the relationships need to go through some transformation so that you can enjoy the best energy of it. And sometimes you yourself are creating situations that need some change. As far as Taurus is concerned, Venus is in the house of relationships. And so this is about love and relationships. However, after 9th of November, when it starts exchanging with Mars, Mars is in the 6th house and Venus is in the 7th house. This is like some obstacle argument that you are feeling or experiencing with your partner. So it is important that you don't get into a blocked situation for yourself or all the time feeling that the relationship is not working for you. In these cases, the short duration of the transit is helpful because it's a short term, it's not a long term activity. So try to manage it and things will get easier. As far as Gemini is concerned, Scorpio is your 6th house, and a lot of activity is happening in the 6th house. 6th house is health and healing. So it is important that focus on that area. And Mars, which is not the best planet for Gemini, is in your 5th house. And this exchange is between 5 and 6. So from 9th of November onwards. So you may find that you are having some obstacles with expressing your creative energy, doing things, trying to overcome this situation. And because the exchange puts Venus back into the 5th house, by making a small adjustment or compromise, I would say, you find that your creative energies are flowing really well. And, you are able to deal with any opposition that is there. Then we go to Cancer. For Cancer, this is Venus is in their 5th house to do with children. And it is a good energy, creative ideas, good luck. And Mars is the best planet for Cancer ascendant. It's transiting the 4th house of home, happiness. And this Parivartana yoga from 9th to 20th is a Maha Parivartana yoga. So very positive energy for you, opportunities, changes, good news regarding home, general good news is there for you. For Leo, Venus is in their 4th house, home, happiness, and Mars, which is also a very good planet for Leo goes into the third house. So Mars in Libra, Venus in Scorpio. But let's first start with Venus. You feel happy, you feel content because Venus is going through the fourth house. Home is important to you. But after ninth, when the Parivartana Yoga takes place, some of your actions may have negative results, and you have to see what is positive to negative, because the third and fourth house Parivartana is called a Kala Parivartana Yoga, and it is not the best for you, Leo. So take care that your actions are not resulting in negative energy. And also, sun is debilitated at this time, so you're not at your best. So I would say put these dates in the diary and be careful. Then we go to Virgo. For Virgo, Venus in Scorpio is in the third house, and third house is self-effort, communication. It's generally a good transit, except you can feel quite intense and, not sure what effort you want to make, sometimes stuck in your effort. And after 9th of September, when Venus starts exchanging with Mars, it's the second and the third house. So it's about financial issues and what you're going to do, how you're going to deal with them. And they can be some obscurity, not clarity. And this parivartana between second and third house is not the most positive. And I would advise you to check the Parivartana Yoga video. I put a link down here, and you can check that yoga and study it more clearly. And again, as I said, it's 9th to 20th, so for a short time. As far as Libra is concerned, Venus is your Lagna Lord. It's in the second house of money, finances. So that is the main area that you are focusing on. And what you have to be careful is that you're not being too possessive, too angry. Sometimes, Scorpio is not the best energy for Libra, and you can get very intense about things and intense about financial things. And second house is also house of speech. So you may say things, with a little sting in their tail. So be careful about that. But when the Parivartana Yoga happens, Mars is in your ascendant and Venus goes into the second house. They are first and second. This is a Mahaparivartana Yoga. This is a positive energy for you. It can create a sense of well-being by making little tweaks in your life, compromising, making changes, seeing the other person's point of view. You'll be much more easier to deal with situations. Just watch for 19th, 20th, when Venus goes through Gandanta, because that is an unsettled, insecure time for you. As far as Scorpio is concerned, Venus coming into your ascendant, this is very nice because it is the seventh house, marriage, relationship. You feel loved up, you feel romantic and, creative ideas. But when you start doing the Parivartana, and from 9th of November, Mars is your ascendant ruler, it goes into your 12th house. And now the exchange is between the 12th house and the first house. So as it is Mars in the 12th, I'll make a separate video about that. It's not the best energy for you. And so as they start exchanging signs with Venus, you may find that your expenses become very high. Thinking spiritually is good, but on a practical way, that can become very expensive time for you. And, whichever way you look at it, Venus goes into the 12th house, Mars comes into the first house. Mars is better because he wants to take control, but then there's still the high expenses, so do take care of that. And then Sagittarius, things are getting better for you, Sagittarius, because Jupiter's come into your sign, and Venus will be in the 12th house for you as well. So 12th house Venus is not the best location, and it is aggravating money and finances. So this transit is important to take care of your money and your earnings and how you spend it. I think financially, this is the most important thing. As it is a small transit, it is about 25, 26 days. You can take care of it. And from 9th of November, when Mars goes into Libra, and the Parivartana between 11th and 12th house means what you earn, you want to spend. So you have to think, do I really need to spend it? Do I need it? Do I want it? So if you control yourself, you'll thank yourself later on. It will be much easier for you. It can also encourage you to travel, go abroad. And that may be good, but again, watch how you spend. So for Capricorn, what I see is that Venus is in Scorpio. Venus is the best planet for Capricorn. So being in Scorpio, even though it's a bit intense, it's promoting that area of your chart, which is the 11th house of profit, and giving you opportunity to make some money. So that is a good energy for you throughout this transit. And then Mars, when he goes into Libra, it's the 10th house of career and opportunity. And the exchange is between 10th and 11th houses, house of career, house of money. So lots of opportunities. They are going in each other's signs. So I would say 9th to 20th is very positive. Just watch out for the Gandanta towards the end of Scorpio. Aquarius, Venus is again the best planet for you. It is in the 10th house, very good energy, good professional energy for you. And Mars, when it goes into Libra, gets out of your 8th house. So it's in the 9th house. And the Parivartana is between 9th and 10th house. So they are mutually reception, changing signs. And this can be very positive time for 9th to 20th, lot of opportunities, lot of good luck. Some change as far as career is concerned, but for the positive. You'd be interested in higher education, learning something more, and, also enhancing your professional life. Finally, for Pisces, Venus is not the best planet for Pisces, but it is in the 9th house of education and learning. It is the other guru. So Jupiter, which is the ruling sign for Pisces, and Venus is the opposite guru. So you may start thinking that there's some other point of view, and it's quite valid to understand the other point of view as well. Now, however, when Mars goes into Libra and Venus, Mars start exchanging signs, then, there's some unexpected change, something that you haven't planned in your program. It could be traveling, doing something, but to watch that time with care. The thing is this, that this Venus in Scorpio transit for all of you is important to understand that Mars has a big say in this transit, because Mars is a ruling planet of Scorpio, but also because of the Parivartana between Venus and Mars. So most of the transit has that Venus-Mars Parivartana. And if you take note of that, then that would be very important. So thanks a lot. All the best. And do remember to subscribe and like and share my videos as well. I really appreciate you all. Thanks.